Hey, this is Clint from Elevate Chiropractic and Rehab. I want to go over kind of our chair sit to stand pattern here. So this is going to be working really well if we happen to have a low back flare up or anything like that. It just helps create great stabilization around the lower back. Also can be a good way to just, as far as an exercise, just to kind of get your legs working a little bit as well. So kind of go from the side view first. So as I'm facing this way, if I'm sitting really far back into the box here, my feet, I can't really feel any weight into them, and also it's very hard for me to not just want to use momentum to come up. So initially, we're going to just scoot towards the edge of the box for our setup as far as where we're sitting on the box. From there, I want to bring my feet actually a little bit behind my knees, and then as we'll talk about, we want to feel that whole foot in the floor. I don't want my heels popping up. If that is the case, I've gone too far back. From there, we'll kind of work our way up, talk about spinal position. So we don't want to be in this hyperly rounded or hyperly arched position. So we're going to think relatively stacked, being able to create a good bracing system through the trunk. While maintaining that, I'm going to lean forward, essentially kind of like hinging forward, to where roughly my shins and torso are parallel lines with each other. There's going to be a little variance with that, but that's roughly where we're trying to go. And then the tricky part now is to not just use momentum to bring myself up. The most common thing I'll see is people will be here and they'll just use the lower back and then stand up from there. So what we want to do is load those feet, stabilize through here, really think of loading the legs, feeling the feet kind of driving into the floor, and then slow and controlled coming up so I've maintained my same spinal position all the way through. So that one I felt all through my legs, even my core as well. Then as we come back down, we kind of maintain that same postural position as we did on the way up. So just start kind of at the hips, my knees will come forward, I find the box, I sit up, and then I can repeat from there, or we can even sit back and just go through that whole process again. Now, if needed, if this is just too challenging, we might use a dowel or have the wall nearby to use for assistance. Those are all totally fine. Even for some, we'll have the hands on the legs to give a little support, or even arms out in front for a little bit of a counterbalance as we come up through there. So those are all options as far as making it easier, making it harder. Should feel like our core and our legs are lifting up, not lower back or momentum. Now, as far as from the front view with our feet position, it's going to vary a little bit based on person to person, but we're going to say relatively hip width apart. Probably not going to go really wide or really narrow. And then the feet, relatively straight. They might be pointed out a little bit as well. It's going to vary from person to person as well. Just make sure that those feet are a little bit behind the knees, because if they're in front, there's no way we're going to be able to load the legs. So that'll be our many variations of working on the sit to stand.